Hi everyone, Radhe Radhe. I'm doing this at night. I usually do this in the daytime, so the lighting is a little bit weird. I feel like I look like a ghost, like a white pale ghost. So in this video we're going to be doing chapter 14, verse 12. And guess what? Tomorrow is Janmashtami. Today is August 25, 25, right? 25, 2024. And tomorrow is Janmashtami, so I'm super excited. I'm going to be spending the day fasting. I'm going to try to do Nirjala, which means no water, until midnight. But I'm going to fast for sure until midnight, no matter how hungry I get, no matter how much headache I get, no matter whatever, I'm going to do it. The water I may give in, but I'll go as long as I can. Usually, if I don't drink water, I have less headache. If I drink water, then I have more headache. So actually, it's easier to do Nirjala fasting, except that you get thirsty, but it's easier on the body. Like it's easier after in that moment, it feels good to drink the water, but then afterwards, it's easier. So, anyways, I'm very excited, and I'm going to be doing a video tomorrow as well. But I'm going to be chanting 64 rounds, which is 8 hours of chanting. So I have some catching up to do in the videos, but that'll not be today or tomorrow. Probably after that, but I'll do one video tomorrow for sure to celebrate Krishna's birthday. But I'll try to do it after the bulk of the chanting is over at least. And I'll be spending. There's going to be 6 hours of kirtan tomorrow from 6 p.m. to midnight. So I want to desperately finish my chanting by 6 p.m. so that I can have 6 solid hours of just kirtan. That would be so good. And I'm not doing any service at the temple. I've already done services at the temple before this past week. So I'm not going to be doing any service at the temple tomorrow because I want to focus all of my energy on the chanting and fasting. So I'm very excited. Anyways, let's do chapter 14, verse 12. In the previous verse, so he's talking about modes of material nature in this chapter, and he's explaining it. I feel like there is so much. I mean, not feel like I know. I can obviously there is so much depth to understanding these things, and I haven't even scratched the surface. I'm trying to understand it in my life, like because we can go from mode of goodness to mode of ignorance to mode of passion or whatever, flit between these three within a single minute, right? Like we have this thought and then we have this thought and then we have this thought, but if I haven't understood what is what exactly, and I feel like I keep trying to understand, and I feel like, okay, maybe this is it and maybe this is it. So, and these verses have not helped me as of right now. I mean, this is to understand it in a day-to-day basis. I mean, but reading the commentaries helps, and then I'm going to be listening to, at some point I'm going to be listening to the lectures on these, and those are going to be very powerful. So I have in the description, I have linked that website that has various different ISKCON preacher lectures for each verse. So those no doubt will be absolutely incredible. Listening to Chaitanya Charan Prabhu's lectures on the Gita will be absolutely incredible to really get to the depth of it. So I'll do that and share, of course, over time as I learn. I'll share the results of those. My understanding of that, like how to apply it in day-to-day life. Because I think I'm going to have to listen, like there are going to be 7, 8 or whatever more lectures on each verse. And I think I'd started this effort, but I didn't get too far. But like I want to just listen to all of the lectures for all of the verses. It's a Herculean effort, I get it, and it can take a lifetime, and I don't care. I want to do it because I really want to understand the Gita. I want to, like, I heard this from a friend, and I just love this phrase. I want to inhale the Gita. I want to learn it so well. I want to know it like mad. So, yeah. So, over time, I'll, of course, be learning it, listening. Right now, I'm reading this book by Yamuna Devi Mataji, a biography of hers by Deena Tarani Mataji, and it's amazing. So I'm making myself read at least 5 minutes a day. And I just discovered this beautiful app. It's called a Habit Share app. It's free. It's completely free. No subscriptions, no ads. It's a clean interface. I've been trying to find the perfect habit tracking app for decades, like 10, 15 years or something. I've tried so many apps and I have not found the perfect one. There's always some problem. There's always a feature that's missing. This one has exactly, it's like the person who created it was exactly in my mind, and he designed it perfectly as well. It's clean. It's beautiful. You can share habits with friends, which helps keeps you accountable. You can see it in a grid, like for the month. You can see how many greens you have, how many reds you have. So in that, I've put one of the habits as 5 minutes of spiritual reading, and like today, it's getting to the end of day, and like of course, doing one Bhagavad Gita video. Which I'm doing right now. So, but that's helping me because I want that green tick. And because of that, I'm like, okay, no matter what it takes, I'm going to be doing it. So I do 5 minutes. Like last 2 days, I couldn't do more. I usually try to do more because I love the book. But the last 2 days, I was very late. So I just did 5 minutes and it was okay. And I had the green tick and it was wonderful because I made progress. So, anyways. Okay, so let's call out to Bhagavan Shri Krishna. Let's slow down. I'm saying that to myself, not to you. Let me slow down, get present, call out to Bhagavan Shri Krishna, and understand this verse. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Dear Bhagavan Shri Krishna, please help us understand this verse. Please help us use this occasion of your birth time. Please give us more mercy. You are extremely, extremely merciful. And when I think about just how much you're guiding me, and when I talk to people and I see how much you've been guiding them, how much you guide us, how much you're with us, I am blown away. I'm absolutely blown away. And yet, still, at the end of all of that, I'm begging you for even more mercy. Please give us more mercy. It's Janmashtami time. It's a time that you came on earth, and you came on earth, Dharma Sansthapanaya. So you came on earth to help us, to bestow your mercy onto us. So please, please, on this occasion, today and tomorrow and for days, weeks, months, years to come, please, please, please bestow us your special mercy, where extra mercy, please. Our progress is not possible without your mercy. Our progress is not possible without your gift of bhakti. So please give us that gift of bhakti, and please help us understand this verse so that we can get that gift of bhakti, so that the ultimate goal of bhakti for you can be fulfilled. Okay. Let's sing the verse. I keep forgetting to turn on the screen. Okay. So the previous verse he talked about the Sattva Guna specifically. This one he's talking about Rajoguna, and next one he's going to talk about Tamoguna. So he talked about the 9 gates in the previous one. He said, when all the gates in the body are illuminated by knowledge, the 9 gates, know it to be a manifestation of the mode of goodness. So now he's talking about Tamoguna. Okay, let's sing the verse together. Lobha pravrattirarambha karmanamashamaha spriha rajasyetani jayante vivriddhi bharatarshava. O chief of the Bharats, when there was an increase in the mode of passion, the symptoms of great attachment, when there is an increase in the mode of passion, the symptoms of great attachment, fruitive activity, intense endeavor, and uncontrollable desire and hankering develop. So what happens when we're in the mode of passion? We have an uncontrollable desire, we have an intense endeavor, we want to do karma kand or fruitive activity, we have great attachment. One in the mode of passion is never satisfied. We want more and more and more and more and more. The more we have, the more we want. It's just never satisfied. So I know I'm watching videos right now, but I know people who are like, yes, I've made this much. Like in the personal growth world, there's a lot like that, right? It's like I need this much, but I want more, and I want this much more, and this much more, and we want to enjoy like totally opposite of everything that we believe in. And at the same time, it's Rajsik. It's very much Rajsik. I mean, I can see that that is Rajsik. But then being at the other end of like, oh, I can't do anything. This is all I can have, or whatever. That's Tamsik. That's hopelessness. So what is Satvik? I don't understand. And like, yeah. So I think that is the crux of this whole thing, right? To understand what the Sattvic thing is, to understand what the transcendental is. Okay, so, and this, he kind of explains it a little bit, so I'll just read that. So, uh, so I'm going to read the Tamoguna part as well, although that comes tomorrow, because he's put it here pretty well. So when in the mode of goodness, we think, I have so much grace from my Guru, I should endeavor to progress rapidly in my sadhana, since human form is precious and it should not be wasted in mundane pursuits. Okay, so mode of goodness means I want to attain you, God, and I want to make use of this time as best as I can to attain you. Mode of passion, I must progress on the spiritual path, but what's the hurry? Let me do other things first, they are more important. Okay. And then mode of ignorance is I don't even know whether there is God. Why waste time in sadhana? So that is the thing. Like when we put things off, but then the question is like how much we can spend the entire day doing spiritual activities and neglecting our material things. So like if I'm neglecting my health right now, then I'm not going to be able to use this lifetime in order to attain Krishna, because then I'll become a burden on society, right? So I have to spend time on my health. I have to spend time on eating right or exercising or whatever. I have to spend time on financial activities so that I'm in a good enough state that I'm not a burden to society, so that I can actually go to the temple and do service. No, already, like, I get low energy many times and I'm not able to do service even though I want to. It happened today. I went there, but then I was so tired. I came home and I slept. But it's important. So it is important to be able to do the healthy so that I can serve, right? But then at what point does it become, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't understand. I don't understand what mode of passion is versus mode of goodness is versus mode of tamasic is. Ignorances. Okay, so that's it for this verse. We will do on Janmashtami tomorrow the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 14, verse 13. And I wish you a day. It's already Janmashtami probably for many of you who are not in US, who are in India. So wish you a day filled with lots of Krishna's mercy, Krishna's grace, on this absolutely auspicious day. May you spend your day doing as much bhakti as you can, sadhana as you can. May you spend it doing whatever ang makes you feel happy, whether you're chanting or doing deity worship or going to the temple or reading or studying or listening to lectures or whatever it is. May you surround yourself with devotees. May you surround yourself with things that increase bhakti in you. And may you have spiritual realizations. May you have Krishna's mercy. May you have spiritual growth. Okay, Radhe Radhe.